everyone, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, and I have an apology to make, because I just realized that this whole time, for the last few videos, I've actually been stretching the screen out, and I thought I had a widescreen patch applied, but I was thinking, man, why does everybody look like short-stack Putin walking down the aisle? And then I realized it's because I had the screen stretch. So we're back to the 4:3 aspect ratio. Everything looks normal again. It was bugging me for so long, but I thought everything was normal. Either way, I was able to get that fixed. We'll see if we can do a mission or two today, because I do have very limited time and I need to get somewhere. But that said, thank everybody for watching, and thank you for all the new subscribers, and thank everybody for being here. And most of all, thank you to the person who donated towards getting my dog's tumor removed. Both my dogs currently have a tumor, one of them diagnosed, and I am currently asking for donations to deal with it. So if you do want to help out, check out link in the description. But again, thank you so much to everybody for being here, for everyone's kindness and everything else. But I'm getting all sappy here. That said, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so we will be fighting Rathian in the jungle this time. We were actually able to get a full party going, so I am pretty excited about that. I always do take one of the paintballs though, because, well, I need paintballs. I use them every single mission, so I always grab one of them because I plan to use it, and whenever I can, I do try to save on them. But okay, yeah, it looks like everybody's getting some. So if I remember correctly, Rathian does spawn in Area 3. It's either Area 3 or Area 6, but I can't remember which. These guys do seem like they know what they're doing. We got this guy with Ceanataur armor. Basically, all of them have armor a lot better than mine, but basically what I'm going to be doing is, well, as Snarl says, go for the tail. Oh, also I forgot my rations. But yeah, I can't believe that I actually skipped my, well, I mean, it's not that I didn't notice. I thought it looked a little weird, but I swear I installed a widescreen patch for this game. I know I did for the first game, but I'll have to take care of that today. I would do it before I started recording, but I do unfortunately have stuff to do today, so I need to get all that stuff done. And I only have a little bit of time left to record, so by the time y'all see this, it'll probably be later in the day, because I'll only really have time to edit the video, but I don't know, maybe I will have time to render and upload it. We'll have to see. As far as Rathian goes, well, she's not in Area 8, but I will check Area 6. As far as Rathian goes, I think we have seen her on the channel before, just a few days ago even, and I just can't get over this graphics mod I have installed. I think what it does is it takes the textures from Generations Ultimate, and it applies it to DOS. It puts it in the DOS engine. It's always been something I've really appreciate. You know, people can actually take textures from other games and put them in others. I know it's not super complicated if you're technical enough to know it. It's probably just tedious more than anything, but it still gives me an appreciation for the older games. Like, imagine being on your PS2 and you look out over the map and this is what you see. And, I mean, yeah, it's low rendered and low poly, but I'm talking about, like, from the perspective of 2006. As somebody who was there, and who even saw, I think I played a little bit of Monster Hunter 1, and then I either damaged or lost the disc, I can't remember which, but I remember this game looking not quite as good as this. And it also, I'm seeing some texture popping, that's weird. But it is something that I've come to really appreciate. All these texture mods on the older games just kind of breathing new life into them, because I am somebody who likes Final Fantasy, and I grew up on Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 10, and I think, yeah, I did have Final Fantasy 13 for a year or two, and I think I got as far as, what is it? I can't remember. I think it's Grand Pulse is what it's called. It's like this big map area where the difficulty suddenly spikes, and it's just really difficult, but just these sweeping vistas and everything looking really pretty. This is what I grew up with whenever I was playing things like Final Fantasy X, and going to Besaid Island, running along the beach, and just really appreciating the visual fidelity of the game. But at the same time, I also did appreciate games like Star Wars Battlefront, because it wasn't the best looking game, but for me, I was somebody who could appreciate both the visuals and the gameplay from an early age. And just seeing Monster Hunter DOS, even though I didn't play it as a kid, you know, as somebody who played a little bit of it and then installed this graphics patch, seeing it in all of its high fidelity glory, it is something that Well, it's really pleasant to see. It makes me very happy that I can experience this game, no matter how annoying it is. It's still a wonderful game at the end of the day, and seeing it in this level of quality just makes me gush, as you can tell. Oh, and there's Rathian. I was actually just about to leave the area because I didn't see her at first. Then one of them said, "Oh, I found her," and oh, looks like she might be living after all. Oh no, just straight through the ceiling. Oh, but you didn't paintball it. That's good. I was about to paintball. I was a little upset because they didn't get a paintballer, but looks like they took care of it, so I do appreciate that. However, yeah, it does look like she's going to Area A. Let's go ahead and run over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my usual thing of trying to take out the Velociprey, because for some reason, whenever I fight these monsters, it's always the small monsters that get me. But whenever it comes to, just dealing with small monsters in general, I always like taking them out because I always seem to be the one who's unlucky enough to get killed by them the moment I stop paying attention to them. So I'm also going to see if I can use them to get my little damage meter up, because frankly, I can't stand something like the Velociprey knocking me over, and then as I stand up, I get killed by one of Rathian's attacks. I don't know, maybe he launches me into her tail flip, and yeah, I'm sure it's happened to somebody at least once. I'm sure somebody here can relate. When it comes to dealing with Rathian, I think the only two big things you need to worry about, at least consistently throughout the fight, is the wind pressure, because she does like flying up a lot, and her charges. Those seem to be the two most potentially painful and run-ending things that get in the way. There is also her tail flip, but she doesn't really do it too much. You should be vigilant of it, but I think it's uncommon enough that it's not a massive issue. And so when it comes to Rathian and tail flip, I just kind of look for her back legs to kind of take a little step back. And then she starts taking those little steps back. That's when I try to get out of the way. It's usually pretty telegraphed, so it's never really been a concern for me once I was able to get the tails down. The biggest thing for me has always been the charge, because as you can see, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. The way I actually tell whenever she's about to charge is I literally just predict it. I have never, in these older games, thought like, okay, alright, I'm just going to watch for the tail when she's going to charge. I just see her start to slowly turn, and I think, okay, alright, maybe that's the tail, that's a charge, but then sometimes she'll do a fireball, and obviously that's more telegraphed like that. So the charge just comes out instantly, so it's really hard to tell. Alright, so as you can see there, she does a little back step. That's how I can tell whenever the flip comes out. Because with Rathian, the backflip, I think, is her strongest attack. But not only that, it also applies poison damage. So it's happened a few times in the first Monster Hunter, but whenever she does do the backflip, even if that doesn't kill you, the poison most likely will. Honestly though, I have a lot of respect for Snarl here, because it seems like he did most of the work on the tail. Oh, I tried for the hero carve, wasn't worth it, but that's okay, I'll just try again in a minute. But yeah, when it comes to getting Rathian's tail, I always seem to struggle with it. I was going for it, but I think there's like a sweet spot where you can really hit it a lot and not whiff a bunch like I did. I just don't know where it is or what it is. But I'm going to see if I can get this tail carved again. I always do what's called a hero carve. As soon as the tail comes down, I just go in there. I like to go in there because I just want to, honestly. It's the greed. And it did runs a couple of times, but it happens uncommonly enough, I guess is the right word for it. It's fair enough that I just kind of do it as a meme at this point. As a longsword player, something that people do need to be mindful of, oh, and I actually might have messed up there, but is whenever it comes to playing with other teammates, you gotta be careful not to stumble them, because technically there is a way you can get your teammates killed, and that is by stumbling them into a monster's attack. So if I was swinging right there and one of them got hit by my longsword and stumbled there, they basically would have been one-shot by Rathian's tail. Or I don't know if they're too weak to be one-shot like I am, but they would have at least been hit by that tail flip attack, and obviously that would have been my fault. So something I try to do is I always try to stay, even after I cut off the tail, I always try to stay at the tail, and I always try to keep it to basically the top-down attacks and the little stabby pokes. That way I don't hit them. But obviously, I do go a little ham if there's nobody in the way, because I'm not one to give up on some DPS, as long as it's not the cost of my teammates being able to play. Another thing I do is always do, whenever I'm attacking, I'm actually watching my teammates more so than myself and where I'm attacking, because I'm trying to attack through them, or not through them, but between them. Because if they start to stumble, the reason why I watch them instead of paying attention to the monster or myself is because if they do start stumbling, that can get them killed because of me, and if they do stumble, then I immediately stop. And I feel like it's just something that more people who do long swords or, you know, dual blades or switch axe should be more mindful of, because the less you stumble your teammates, the more fun they can have, and I think that's better for everyone. And also, it gets them killed less, in my experience. I know I've always struggled a bit in this area when it comes to fighting monsters, mainly because of the trees. I can't remember if where it was. I think it was complained about enough in this game that in later games they moved the trees from this forest area, or at least they thinned them out. I know that for a fact, and I don't know what it's like in Monster Hunter Rise, but I think in Monster Hunter Rise, they obviously use actual 3D trees instead of, you know, it's 2D textures, but I believe they adjusted it in Monster Hunter Rise so there's fewer tree models, but they're like actual trees. That way you can see better in this area. And honestly, I don't blame them for that. I really don't like fighting in this area because it is very, and I mean very hard to see whenever the monster gets stuck in here. Like, you have a general idea of where they are, but whenever they, let's say their attacks need a certain tell, it's like a very hard to see, you know, a little bit of body language thing. Like, say, Rathian for the tail flip. You can even miss the tail for the tail flip whenever she does those little back steps because the trees kind of obscure it to where it takes a couple seconds for you to process that she's even doing it. And then obviously when they're charging back and forth from the beach to the trees and then from the beach back to the tree lines, it can be a little bit to keep track of her since she kind of blends into the environment over here. Oh no, she got rid of the charge. Alright, let's, oh no, did I run out of, oh yeah, because I only got one stack first aid minute, so. Oh, and she got paralyzed. Yeah, the, I think it's called the, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the Death Bite or something like that. The Gendrum has a pretty fantastic sword and shield that causes paralysis in monsters, and because of that, a lot of late game players will bring it in for missions, because basically what you can do is, if you're pretty good enough with the DPS on Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield is good for like applying stats effects and doing elemental damage, you can stun like some monsters with it. It's pretty fun actually. Something else I've also noticed when listening to my videos, and I'm even catching that for myself right now. As a kid, I was always told to slow down because I talk at like 1,000 miles a second or something. They're talking like, they say things like, oh, you know, slow down. You're talking at 90 miles a minute or something like that. But I do need to kind of slow down and enunciate more, because I am used to just kind of mumble talking my words. It's a personality thing, and I do need to work on that, but obviously as I do content creation more, I'll be able to get a hold of it. I think it's something I mentioned before, but it's something I've always struggled with, and I'm definitely working on being more coherent whenever I say these things and not like a drunk person. But to anyone who actually listens for my advice on playing the games or figuring out monsters, I do apologize, and I'll certainly work on being more understandable. Something I also forgot was to empty my item pouch, although putting my potions in there is generally not a good idea because I need those to survive. Oh, but I got mega potions, actually. Oh, I actually forgot about that. I didn't realize I had so many mega potions, so I'll probably start dragging those along with me as well. And I did get rid of a stack of antidotes so I could get some of the Rathian parts, but I probably could have got rid of the cool and hot drinks. I'm not really sure what else we're going to be doing next, but I'm going to go ahead and empty my pouch and we can see where to go from here. Oh, well this is a sight for sore eyes. So, a lot of people are making the joke about uncircumcised Khezu and in the community, and even outside it's just a general Monster Hunter thing as a whole, but last time we were playing, we really struggled with Red Khezu because he was just spamming that lightning attack and I was getting too greedy. Of course, oh, Camillus. Unfortunately, I won't be able to fight that, but Red Khezu is not really the most fun to fight. However, he's definitely doable. And I don't think I've actually done him on a video. I did it on the stream, and I think I lost like 3 different times before I actually beat him, but now that I have some experience fighting Khezu as a whole, and not completely losing my mind over it, it's a little bit more easy to manage. Also, I didn't realize I had so many hot and cool drinks, so I need to stop buying them until I get rid of the ones in my inventory. I had some background noise to deal with, so I had to step away for a minute, but fighting the Red Khezu is definitely quite painful. Pokemon Girl looks like I scared him, because I'm assuming he thought I disconnected, but I believe Red Khezu does spawn in Area 6. It's either Area 6 or Area 7. I can't remember which, but I know he likes to come down to Area 1 a lot. So what I'm probably do is I'm just going to go ahead and wait here for him, and he should be here within a few minutes. So Pokemon Girl did go run off to look for Khezu. He said, you know, hey, you wait, just stay here, he'll look for him. But the reason why I was like, you know, hey, maybe we should wait here for a moment is because it has been a couple minutes, and I know at the very start, Khezu is up in, it's either Area 7, 8, or 6, but within 5 minutes, he always comes down to Area 1, so, oh, I'm gonna get hit by that. Oof. Yeah, I already taken a lot of damage, that's not good, but when it comes to him, this is really the biggest you need to worry about, is that big attack right there, because you do gotta get close to hit him if you're a melee user, and whenever you get close, he likes to spam it a lot, so really, it's just about managing greed, and obviously not bouncing off the tail, but if you can manage your greed well enough, you should be able to do pretty decent damage to him. If I remember correctly, he also does less, not does less damage, I think he does more damage and has less health, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure what makes the red Khezu different from the normal Khezu, honestly. Besides, you know, the skin coloration. I'm getting a little greedy there again. But thankfully, tail spin instead of the shock attack. Now that I think about it, I wonder if red Khezu might have new moves that normal Khezu doesn't have. If he does, I haven't seen them, but let me know in the comments below if you know of any special moves red Khezu has that normal Khezu might not have, because now that I think about it, I think he really is a reskin just in the truest sense of the word, because I have never seen red Khezu do anything that normal Khezu doesn't. Maybe he just stays out in the open often, and I did literally get hit by that one so I could get the buff off. I don't know if it was worth it, but in that split second, I decided it was. Still, is it just that red Khezu stays out in the sun more, and that's why he's red? Or is it that he doesn't go into the caves at all? I don't think that. Has red Khezu been in the caves? I think in the 3rd generation, I have seen him in the caves, but... Or not 3rd generation, I think it's the 4th generation I was thinking of. Wherever you fight red Khezu after this, but... I don't know if he's ever in the caves in this game. I think I've only ever really fought him in Area 1 or one of the snowy areas. Oh, looks like that foot got me as well, but... Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's really the difference between them. Red Khezu just stays out in the caves a lot more, and because of that, you don't have to deal with him climbing on the ceiling and running as much. It does feel like he does run a lot less than the normal Khezu. Also, I still can't get over how weird the hurt box for that attack is, because sometimes it does feel like I'm, you know, right there and I should be hit, but then I'm not. It's always been a little weird to me, but that's just normal old school Monster Hunter jank for you. I know there is a way you can use the lightning attack to your advantage. I guess it depends on how much damage you do. Maybe if you're a greatsword user, it's a bit more viable, but something I like to do is I'll come in here, I'll swing at this foot, and then I'll step out of the way. Although, of course, if he does roar when you're like halfway through a dodge roll, then he can get you with an attack. Thankfully that didn't hit me, because that probably would have killed me, but yeah, you should be mindful whenever you're spamming, you know, or not spamming, but baiting out the lightning ball attack, because if he does catch you off guard, you can do quite a bit of damage with a free attack. Oh god, and that neck as well. It's always disgusting. Yeah, I'm not facing Mega Potion either. That is, it is really tragic, but a lot of times, whenever they're enraged, I try not to do anything and only heal when I need to. Because right there I was trying to get the stamina off, because stamina is very important in this game, but a lot of times if you use an item, and especially if you do something that requires a lengthy animation, like sharpening a weapon, the monster will input read that and immediately target onto you. I know I've complained about this before, but that is a feature I really don't like about older games. And of course, because of how long all that took, I did lose my damage buff, but since I have marks, we'll know where he's going, and hopefully we can get some decent damage in whenever we get back to him. Oh, by the way, for those of you who wonder where the Veggie Elder is on this map, this is one of the areas he is, over here in Area 4. You can talk to him to trade certain items, and I think you can trade him, I don't remember what it is, but I believe in the story mode, you have to trade him certain, or maybe it's just one of them. In order to beat the final boss in Astra and get to the Forbidden Tower, I think it's called, you have to trade a certain item from him. You'll get like a songbook page or something like that. And then once you do that, you can actually get to the tower, but it's very obscure and very hard to figure out, in my opinion. I remember there's a guy called Pake, P-A-K. He's a lovely content creator. I love watching his videos, but I remember listening to him talk about Monster Hunter DOS, and the way he described it, whew, it was rough. It was rough. I can only imagine how he figured that out. People might have figured that out back in the olden days if they couldn't afford a game guide, but Nowadays, obviously, you can, of course, just look it up. I think he didn't look it up, although it could be misremembering, but yeah, it's quite painful to find that last page because the game doesn't really give you any intuitive information on figuring it out. But for those of you who don't know, back in the day, instead of having like microtransactions or whatever else, the way games made money after selling the game was making things deliberately obscure in-game and then selling game guides. And then, of course, the stores selling the game guides would get a kickback as well since they're selling them, and then most of the money would go to the company. And that's basically how they'd make a lot of their money. So, yeah, in games, probably up until the Xbox 360 era, a lot of games do have pretty obscure things, like, take Final Fantasy XII, for example. It is my favorite game of all time, but there's this one summon. Let's just call it a summon. You can summon these deity beings after defeating them in combat to use their power to your advantage or whatever. And to get to one of them, you have to go through an extremely obscure and convoluted path that just leads nowhere. Of course, I saw Khezu walking through Pokemongra, and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's connection error. I thought he was going to disconnect, and I was going to have to try to beat Khezu on my own, but it looks like that's it for me. But yeah, the way I did it is I went to the library, and then I looked it up on the internet, and I paid like, I can't remember how much it was. I think I paid like $1 to print out several pages worth of game guide stuff in order to figure out how to get it. It's called Ultima, for those of you who know Final Fantasy XII, but yeah, I'm probably going to call it right there. I have been recording for quite a bit, but it looks like the fun does need to be cut short. So I have an appointment to get to, and I cannot miss it. So thank everybody for watching. I apologize for the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I apologize for the stretch aspect ratio in the other games. Or not in the other games, the other videos. But yeah, thank everybody for watching. A massive thanks to the person who donated. I'll keep it anonymous unless they decide to bring it up themselves, but it is quite a ways towards helping my dog get her 2-minute move. So again, thank y'all. Thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for subscribing, for liking, for watching the videos. If you like the video, I'm actually yapping here. Whenever I do my finishing yap, I like to keep it closey. Wait, I'm autistic, excuse me. Whenever I do my closing yap, I like to keep it cozy. I was trying to think of cozy and closing at the same time, but yeah, thank everybody so much for watching. If you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below on how you suggest I deal with Red Khezu, or what the difference is between normal Khezu, because I always had a hard time telling the difference besides the skin color. Besides that, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to support the future of the channel, feel free to become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch. You'll have exclusive emotes you can use on the streams, and if you're feeling especially generous, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You won't get any benefits yet. It's mostly for people who want to support the channel, but pretty soon, once I am able to get this into something more substantial, I do plan on giving patrons a week of early access to the video, but that probably won't be anytime soon. I know I said pretty soon, but I misspoke there, so excuse me for that. That's it. Thank everybody for watching, and have a good day. Bye now.